Hello, I'm Dr. Maurie Markman from City of Hope, and I wanted to share with you probably the first of a number of times that I'll be talking about this particular research approach. An extraordinary effort, but we're seeing some data for the first time come out that is absolutely fascinating. We all know about the role of precision medicine, increasingly important. Clinical trials have demonstrated the value of therapy that we might give our cancer patients. We also know we're increasingly learning about the role of germline testing for women with a variety of diseases and men similarly with a variety of diseases. But the question always comes up, yeah, but those are select populations. They may be part of clinical trials, ovarian cancer in particular, where we have shown a quarter or so of women in the trials may have a BRCA mutation. But you say, yes, but that is, once there's a clinical trial, once a woman has ovarian cancer, she may be drawn to those trials because of family history, etc. So the question remains, what about the real world? What about the population wasn't chosen or didn't elect to choose to participate in a trial? Are we getting a skewed analysis of the likelihood of finding X or finding Y and finding Z? And that's why the particular study, large study I'm going to mention now, becomes so important. Great Britain made the decision a number of years ago to really look at population-based analyses and to look at patients with cancers to see what percentage of them they have a variety of mutations, both somatic, only within the cancer, or germline. And the results of this analysis actually the cancer program is 100,000 genomes project. It was an initiative to provide whole genome sequencing for patients with cancer. Again, to look at the wide spectrum of all different cancers to see what can be found, what is relevant on a population basis. In this report, called Insights for Precision Oncology, from the integration of genomic and clinical data of 13,800 tumors from the 100,000 Genomes Cancer Program. This report, which is just published online in early January in Nature Medicine, looks at, this first almost 14,000 tumors. And what is striking here, what I want to highlight from this paper, are results in ovarian cancer. And what this study concluded, and incredibly important for oncologists who care for women with ovarian cancer, for patients themselves and their families, what these investigators showed, again, population-based, all patients in this population, not selected because they went on a trial, 40% of high-grade serous ovarian cancers, the majority of ovarian cancers are high-grade serous, 40% had evidence of homologous recombination deficiencies. That's evidence of serious inability to repair DNA damage. So what this would suggest, based upon the clinical data now, that as many as 40% population-based potentially could benefit from the use of PARP inhibitors, which are now widely used, of course, but it's not the rare patient. It's not 1 out of 10. It's not 1 out of 5. It's 40% of patients will have this deficiency. That's very relevant. But just as relevant, just as important, a different aspect of this, 30% of individuals with ovarian cancer in this population-based analysis had pathogenic germline variants, suggesting that approximately 1 out of 3, as a rough statement, 1 out of 3 women with ovarian cancer have a potential germline abnormality, which not only predispose them to the development of disease, but might be relevant within their family, and therefore we get into the question of germline testing of family members, genetic counseling, etc. Again, we also, let me just say again, and we have strategies. It could obviously be screening, it could be surgical approaches to potentially eliminate the risk or dramatically reduce the risk of ovarian cancer in those individuals demonstrated to have germline abnormalities. Again, population-based data, very important observation, both the patient herself, as in terms of possible therapy, but also very relevant information that could be for that patient's family. I would encourage you to read this paper if you have an interest in the topic, and clearly we're going to see more and more data coming out of this extraordinary population-based study being conducted in Great Britain. And I thank you for your attention.